Hi, I'm Tracey L Fisher. Welcome to Gateway to Reentry Unapologetic. I'm here with Brian Shareef Taylor. Am I correct?
Brian Shareef Taylor, yes,
and
sir.
He's running for state representative. And he came and joined us this morning. We're going to have a conversation with him and find out what's going on. In the elevator speech, Brian, tell my audience who you are, first of all, and why you running for state representative.
I'm U.S. Army retired Brian Shareef Taylor. I am currently running for the state representative office in the 164th district in Pennsylvania. That area is considered a portion of Upper Darby, Yaden, all the lands down in the Milbourne area.
And who was you running against?
I am currently running against State Representative Margot Davison.
Okay. You know how long she had that office?
Yeah, she's been the incumbent for, I think it's been 8 to 9 terms. I'm not really sure.
8 to 9 terms. And yes. How many years you get to stay state rep before you have to run again?
Oh, it's based on a 2-year term.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get my audience to understand.
Yeah.
She been there for 8 terms, not 8 years.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Gotcha.
So listen, me personally, right? I'm not big on state reps. Only because I went up Harrisburg and I saw how they get treated, and they allow themselves to get treated that way.
Wow.
So when somebody come to me and say they running for state rep, I look for that killer instinct.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need it. Because when you get up to Harrisburg, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you win. When you go to Harrisburg, they're gonna bring you in, okay? The crew that's already up there.
Yeah.
Right? But there's nothing. Now look at each crew. Look at they community they represent.
Yeah.
Is in poverty.
Yeah.
So you're being embraced by the poverty keepers.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So now for you to get stuff done, you're going to have to go against what they trying to do, and yet still get their votes.
Yeah.
So you see what you got in front of you?
A challenge.
To go up there, right?
A challenge.
Now, I say that to say this to you.
Okay.
And I'm glad you mentioned you was an Army vet, so you understand warfare and strategy. What is your strategy after you win and they say, okay, you're the winner. You up here now. You represent the 164.
Yeah.
Right? What's the first thing you want to do?
Very first thing that I want to do is start in a process of actually encouraging my community. And then when I say by encouragement, the current situation of the pandemic. Now we have a pandemic that's going on. There are many different resources that are out there for people. So if I have to knock on each and every person's door and let them know about some of the resources that they can have, such as food banks, rent or mortgage relief, something that actually benefits their child. Because the thing is, when you say the word state representative for that district, I'm working for the people that's in my community. So whatever problems that they're going through, I shouldn't be able to sleep at night if they're going through a bad situation, because I am a representation of them. So I have to fight against whoever I got to fight to make sure that they're empowered, they're encouraged, they have strength. Because right now, everybody's basically going through a time of, I would say, a post-traumatic stress disorder with this pandemic, because there has been an uptick in overdose, domestic violence period, alcoholism, or just plain just being discouraged.
What I've come to know about politics, period, okay? And I have no desire to be a politician at all, and nothing against them.
Yeah.
But I understand this. When you decide to represent a certain part of the city, or if it's the whole city, it depends on what office you run for.
Yeah.
You're asking individuals that struggles in everyday life to allow you to help them get out of the hole that they're in.
Yeah.
Be it mental, economics, education, equality, racism, and mental health, whatever that plagues that area.
Yeah.
You basically have to become somewhat a master of all trades and an expert on every little thing in your area. The 164, we're going to stick with that.
Okay.
The 164.
Yeah.
You have to become an expert on that area, what plagues that area.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Then you have to put people smarter than you around you.
Exactly.
You understand? So that you can say, okay, here's what my team is telling me, that this is what we need to do. But while you're doing that, as state representative, you have to reach deep into the community, right? And pull the individuals that's boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Right? And bring them, make them part of your team. Even if they're not in your office, you make them part of your decision making because it affects them directly anyway. So you bring them to the table. This is what's not being done with representative, council people, senators, no matter. But since you're talking about representative, this is what's not being done. Okay? And I'm just saying, it's an honor to see a black man sit in front of me and say, I don't like what my people are going through. And I want to do something to help them. Now, having said all that, right? And I listened to what you say you want to do, knocking on doors and all, which is great. Here's what I need you to understand. We are hard to please.
I know.
Because we angry. We got a poverty anger inside of us.
I know.
You understand? A poverty anger. You're coming from being raised as a black man, right? But then you went into the army where you got discipline. What branch was you in? Let me rephrase that.
Well, let me rephrase that. I gained my discipline from my upbringing of my parents.
Right.
The military just kind of reinforced it.
This is the point I'm making. That your parents didn't give you military discipline. They gave you, like my parents gave me, respect, morals, integrity, and respect one another. That discipline.
Yeah.
Coming up in the household. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I get that part. It's a completely different ball game.
My father was a Marine.
Okay, then. So listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to me.
Okay.
I'm giving you the game.
Thank you.
I'm giving you the game right now so you can win. When you step out there, it's people like me in the audience that knows what plagues the community, and we listening for keywords to understand that you get it. You ain't got to give a great speech, but if you hit them keywords, I know you understand. You did your homework. You understand. You come from that. You realize. Take any religion in the world. I don't care what it is. God never sent the messenger except from amongst the people.
Yeah, you're right.
From amongst the people. So if you're going to represent that community, then you're from that community. You understand?
Yeah.
But remember this, people always try to throw the messenger out.
I know.
Even though he had a great message,
I know.
he always try to stomp him out. So what I'm saying to you is this. I've experienced dealing with state representatives, and I watched them. And I'm going to leave you with this one. I went up Harrisburg.
Yeah.
They had the minority and the majority. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what they have up Harrisburg.
Yeah.
The minority are the black state representatives that comes up there. The majority are the white state representatives. The decision of what's going to happen is already made in the hallways for y'all to even get in the room.
Yeah.
Believe that. Now, the majority will allow the minority to have their say. But the majority will have their way.
Yeah.
You understand? That's what's happening up Harrisburg. That's the equivalence of me giving you a brand new Cadillac. And every day you outside waxing it and wiping it down. Every day because you took pride in it, that car you have. And my producer, Johnny, comes to you and say, Brian, why you always waxing that car but don't never go nowhere with it? And then you pop the hood and ain't no engine in it.
Okay.
You understand? See, state representative from the urban community is a showpiece to say we have a representative up there.
Okay.
But there's nothing that drives it.
No, Tracey, now I hear what you said, and I already kind of fully understand that. But why should I allow that to stop me from working in my community? Because we have a basic saying, do the work and leave the rest in God's hands. Because there's only but so much that each and every individual can control. But if you still go out there, I think, see, what a lot of people have, I think, kind of confused that they give council people, politicians too much power. The people that really have the power are the people in the community. Now, if you get these people encouraged and more empowered and actually more focused on what's going on, because I think a lot of times what is being run within society is called psychological warfare. Now, with psychological warfare, if you keep those that are in poverty fighting each other, then they don't have time to be watching what so-called leaders are doing or what decisions are being made. Now, I'll give you an example. Within the last couple months, in 1 month, in one council meeting, the council within my area did 90 ordinance without the public having a say-so. That's what goes on. If you can keep people confused and fighting each other or just dealing with their own basic problems, they don't have time to see what's going on. But if you encourage people and we work together, I think we can bring change. I know we can bring change. My Savior has told me we can bring change. I know, let's just say the majority is Republican, minority is Democrats. I'm independent for one. So I can take both characteristics and break them down. The reason why I became an independent, because I realized on both sides, they're snakes. And how can I say I represent a party if I'm just going to completely agree with everything? I can't agree with everything. I wasn't raised that way. I'm not built that way. I can't walk by someone that's homeless and I say, well, ain't no homeless problem. We took care of the homeless problem. Right. It's more about my faith in the Lord more than anything. Yeah. It won't allow me to go for it. And having people around me, within this last year, I've been blessed so much just to be around certain people that are already out in the community and they don't give a damn what a politician says or does. If there's a problem that needs to be fixed, they still gonna be boots on ground. Because if you're gonna be a leader of an area, you gotta do recon. You can't just get in your car and just drive on by like ain't nothing happened. Put them boots on, walk around your area, talk to everybody, and not just talk to certain people. You go in your barbershops, you go in your local bars. And the reason why I say you go in your local bars, because a lot of time when someone's going through some stress, that's where they go. Not saying that's the most positive outlet, but they're around people that are going through a lot of times the same problems and the same issues. You have events in your area constantly, either something for children to make that child happy, because the thing is there's no outlet for children in my area. I was raised across the street from Waterview Playground in Germantown. There was always a center. There was always something for us to do. The community that I'm in, I don't see that. I see a price tag on everything, just basic swimming. If you want to be a child and swim in the summertime, you got to join a swim club or you got to be in a Y. So, but what if your parents can't afford that? So that means you don't deserve that? Can't nobody in this world tell me that everybody does not have a purpose and does not have a value. But that's the problem with these folks. They think just because a person's this way or that way, well, they can make the decisions. See, humanity ain't not in charge. The Lord above is always in charge. And that's why you see a lot of the things that's happening today just to wake people up. When I see discrimination, racism, death, and violence, and then I see people making quick decisions, but then the thing that I always ask somebody, what if that was your child? Or what if you were that parent that was standing in front and you felt helpless and you could not help your child? Or what if you were homeless? Have you ever been homeless? Have you ever went a day without a meal? Some folks haven't, so they can't have that basic sympathy. Or they say somebody has a drug problem. Well, just say no. Remember the old saying, just say no? Well, anybody I know that's had some form of that disease of addiction, there is no button to say, I'm going to get myself clean. A lot of times they got to hit rock bottom before you just say, I need a change. But your community can not give you, but help assist you.
Now, with all the violence and stuff going on in the city of Philadelphia, as of right now, Philadelphia right now is #1 in poverty, #2 in homicide, and #1 in taxing our senior citizens. And then with the murdering of the young man that was just murdered the other day in front of his mother, and the mental health stuff like that. Now, you a state rep, and that's your area. What would you have done?
What happened?
As state rep.
As state rep?
Yes, that's your area.
First, find out exactly everything that happened, which means not only talking to the family that was involved with the situation and also the community, but also the officers that were involved in their higher ups. Because the one thing that I noticed, that there was a big thing that was mentioned, saying that he had a mental health problem. Now, if there's a call that goes into dispatch, and you said that you're dealing with someone that is having a mental health crisis, what type of units are actually provided before that situation even happens? Because the thing is, if you're not already prepared for it, then you're actually preparing for the worst. And I can't even imagine being that parent and knowing that that child has dealt with years of maybe mental health issues, and that is your child, and that's the last time you see your child. Yeah. Because as being a leader, you have to take full responsibility. And I'm not just saying the police department when I say this. I'm also talking about council members and mayors. I'm proposing to have all peace officers and all elected officials go by what is called the UCMJ, which is a uniform code of military justice, that everybody should be held accountable for their actions. Now, for example, if you are an elected leader and your community is suffering, especially with dealing with poverty, and there are grants that come down, simple paperwork that maybe somebody has to fill out, and that job is not done, then you have your problem. But as in, I couldn't imagine.
Well, let me ask you this: as state rep, and that's your area.
Yeah.
But
first, I'm sorry.
As state rep, and that's because you're thinking now, I'm putting you in the position as state rep now.
Yeah.
See, you're not running no more. You won. You follow me?
Yeah.
So now go to switch to that mind frame. You're a winner now. People believed in you, what you said, and they voted you in.
Yeah.
Okay? So now you see what's happening in the community. So I'm just giving you scenarios. Why? Because these scenarios are actually happening in the community, and people that's watching this want to know.
Yeah.
Right? Now, because you think about it, you haven't heard one state representative. No. Okay? So I'm setting the stage for you.
Thank you.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you have gun violence in your community. And it's mainly from the youth, obviously, right? From 18 to 30, that's that area right there. And right now, 82% of the crimes that's being committed in the urban community right now is from under the influence. So now of drugs, alcohol, stuff like pills and stuff.
Yeah.
So now you have violence, you have the, intoxication, right? Then you have mental illness. So you got the three components right there.
Deadly combination.
That's deadly. That's a multi-cocktail, right? That's deadly right there. So now, you as state representative, you have to sit back and say, how do I address these type of issues without giving it a speech, but saying this is what we need to do concrete so we can do this, this, and that.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So as a state representative, you can pick whichever one first, but you have the violence, you have the mental health, and you have the drugs and alcohols.
Okay, let's go with mental health first.
Okay, deal with mental health.
Because I think mental health should be first because of a mindset. When actually we're dealing with mental health, there has to be more I think more peer counseling that happens within our areas. Because when you have that peer that when you are going through an issue or when you are going through a problem, that you can actually sit down and talk to. Because the thing is, I deal with post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of veterans deal with post-traumatic stress disorder. That's the main reason why we started a nonprofit for vets. That way, when that veteran is going through an issue, that is not taken out either out on the public or more 9 times out of 10 on a family member. Because you know when someone is actually going through an issue, the person that's going to be affected the most is going to be that family member. You have to open up those doors. If those doors are not open with mental health, you're going to have what we have today. And if that person doesn't have that it's a combination of things. Medication, but medication awareness. But you also have to have that counseling because that can be balled up into a knot. And once that knot is balled up, it's going to explode. And majority of the time, it's not just going to be on a random person. It's going to be someone that is actually close to that person, which 9 times out of 10 is a family member. But when you're going through those problems, that family member wants to help, wants better for you, but they can't fully understand what you're going through.
Now, for the sake of time, because we're ready to close out, deal with the violence.
The violence should be basically by help building a stronger community, because the violence is a lot of times dealt with intoxication or mental health. If someone is hungry, someone is not in no good mood. You tell me one person that goes without a meal and they're just happy and jolly. Now, if you have a community that is impoverished, what do you think you're gonna have? That's causing the violence, because everyone is fighting for a position.
Absolutely.
And when you have people fighting for a position, it's somebody gonna die.
Now, with all that being said, to my audience, tell them how they can get in touch with you, how they can even support what you're doing. Right? As far as you running for office and even beyond that. So explain to them how they can get in, give them your name again and how they can get in touch with you.
My name is Brian Shareef Taylor. I'll give you my basic contact number, which is 267-207-8131. I can be reached at Taylor, Taylor, Made, AMADE, Corp, CORP at hotmail.com. But as far as anything dealing with the campaign, we have our agenda on there, and that is www.briantaylor.support. Thank you and blessing, and hopefully, not hopefully, we will make it a change and we will encourage everyone.
There you have it. You have Brian Shareef Taylor. I'm Tracey L Fisher, Gateway to Reentry, Unapologetic. Thank you for joining in.